Welcome to Truth with Ruth, a witty, warm, and real podcast about anything and everything health and fitness. I'm your host, Ruth Edwards, joined by co-host
Evan Edwards.
And on today's episode, we're going to cover one of the basics. So we're in our initial episodes. So we're going to cover some of those basics that come under health and fitness. And at least I know for me and for a lot of people out there, one of the main questions I get when it comes to everything health and fitness comes under the fitness category. I mean, I remember one of the first lessons that I learned when I really got into the nitty gritty fitness. Do you remember the Spartan races?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So some of you listeners might know Spartan races, but obstacle course racing, mud racing, whatever you want to call it. And I got into that. And you did one. You did a couple, right?
Well, I would say, was 5th grade? So 11, 12. We did the kids one.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Not for me. I don't like getting dirty like that.
And putting forth quite that much exertion physically. Yeah, so, well, but one of the big lessons I learned from one of my very first Spartan races was that you cannot determine a person's fitness level by how they look. And however, magazines, social media, the industry would have us believe differently. And that if you're truly fit, then you look a certain way. So here's what happened. I was running that Spartan race, and I was crushing it. Okay, and this might have been my second or third one, but anyway, I was doing so good, but I was pretty much running on my own. Mm-hmm. And anyway, you kind of end up making friends along the way a little bit, or you end up being with you keep seeing the same people, right? So there was this other girl, and that her and I just we were definitely hanging together, kept seeing her bumping into each other. And in my opinion, she looked fitter than me. She was younger, but every time we would start to have to climb a hill, and those hills were all usually wet and steep, and so anyway, and you're trying to get up the hill. I'm at the top, she's still at the bottom, and I thought, I'm so confused. But then once we would get into a flat, she would fly by me and leave me in the dust. And so after the race or event, I was talking about it with my trainer, and that's when my trainer said to me, you cannot determine a person's fitness level by how they look. Anyway, that was one of my first big, aha, this really is more about what I'm doing for me and what I want out of it, and it's not all about looks. All right. But what that leads us to is that a lot of people start exercising because they want to look a certain way. 6-pack abs, technically they're 8-packs. It's an 8-pack. You have 8, not 6, but 6-pack sounds more clever, right? Maybe there's girls that want a thigh gap, or the guys want the big guns, the bicep guns, or they want their chest to look a certain way, or their booty to look a certain way. So a lot of times it's about people get started because they want to look a certain way. And I mean, that's fine, right? If it gets you started and gets you going on the journey. However, I think what a lot of people find, though, that's not enough to keep you going. So when the 6-pack abs or whatever, the thigh gap or whatever it is, doesn't happen in 6 to 8 weeks, they give up, they quit. And so the motivation just the vein motivation just doesn't always.
That's not a very long time.
No, I mean 6 weeks, a month and a half, 8 weeks is 2 months. Okay, let's go back to basic biology. Your cells, so do you remember that from biology class? Your cell, your cell, your cell. So, I mean, that's what your body's made up of, millions of cells. They turn over about every 4 weeks.
Which cells? Your muscle cells? Your
All
skin
your cells.
All of them?
Cellular health. Now, a lot of times we think more of it in terms of skin health, but sure, let's take the skin. So, yeah, your skin health. Your skin turns over every 4 weeks. So when you start a new skincare regimen, you need to give it at least 4 weeks, if not 6 to 8, to like truly see the difference. Okay. It's the same concept everywhere else in your body. So you got to give your body a chance to catch up, make the changes, and make the shifts. So yeah, kind of general rule of thumb, like in 4 weeks, you'll feel a little bit better. In 8 weeks, some other people might be noticing, like, you're doing something a little different. And by 8 weeks, you're noticing that you look a little different. And in 12 weeks, so that's 3 months, there's you and the other people are usually noticing. Yeah. It takes time. But I think for a lot of people, and it happened for me, there's a paradigm shift when, I think for a lot of people it does happen when they get a little older and they realize, oh, when I exercise I feel better. And so now it's less about looks and it's more about feeling better, or relief, might be pain relief, to reduce stiffness, prevent injury. Okay, here's one. I just talked to you about this the other day. I'm reading a book, diving deeper into hypermobility stuff, and they're actually talking about and giving exercises about our eyes. Okay, so, and that you can actually improve your sight by doing eye exercises. So I started them on Monday, Tuesday anyway. So 3 days, I'm just trying to remember. And it's the same concept as strength training. You start with a few repetitions, then increase it. So anyway, I'm practicing those and I'm realizing, oh, yeah, when my eyes move this way, I feel a little stretch or strain almost. Like I have to work harder in a certain direction. So, same concept. But I would like my eyes to be a little healthier so I don't have to keep doing this, right? Okay, on and off, on and off. And I think, again, as we get older, a lot of times people are like, oh, I can climb the stairs better. I can get down on the floor with my grandkids. I can pick up the heavy laundry basket. I can carry my groceries in all on one trip, you know, if I'm exercising. So I think... I guess one of the biggest, most common, most often heard questions is, well, what do I do?
I don't know.
Well, let's see. I think it was not too long ago, a couple years ago, you messaged me from school and asked for...
Well, my friend... I don't remember how it got started, but we were going to be gym buddies.
Yeah.
And so she had a personal trainer, and so her trainer, she sent me some whole body workouts that her trainer had sent her to get started. So then, anyways, so I was doing those for a little bit. So I think I asked you for some extra whole body workouts, and then I've always been very tight in my hamstrings. Right behind my knee, it hurts when I don't know. I can't, it hurts to touch my toes right behind my knees. And so I asked specifically for hamstring stretches because that's an area where I need work.
Yeah. So, strength training. You're like, I know I need to exercise, but what do I do? Where do I start? Well, I think an easy thing to do is to, at the very least, start walking. If you do 2,000 steps a day, well, then aim for 2,500 and then start increasing it. Ideally 8 to 10,000 steps a day. However, if you're far from that, don't start there. You'll be so sore you can't move. And so baby steps. But the big one is strength training, resistance training, weight lifting. There's lots of different names for it, but essentially it's strength training. Like I said, whatever words you want to use. Resistance, weight lifting, whatever. Okay. Why? Well, later we'll do a whole episode just on strength training, but here's the basics. According to human development data, and I learned this in grad school, is that we physically peak at around age 26. You're not too far. Oh, I'm way past that. So if you aren't intentionally either building muscle mass or maintaining muscle mass, you're just naturally going to lose it. So if you don't use it, you lose it. That is true. Muscle mass. Muscle mass helps with everything. So it increases your brain nootropic something factor. So anyway, it helps your brain. And
okay.
And it's good for your metabolism because muscle burns more calories at rest than fat does. It helps all your hormones function better. So it helps like provide that fuel that everything in your body needs to run just more efficiently and better. So strength training, like I said, we'll do a whole episode on that at some point. Cardiovascular exercise. Well, that's exactly what it is. It's good for your heart and your lungs. So your heart is also a muscle. Your lungs can be trained to hold more oxygen or not. And so it's like just that general movement to cause you to breathe a little harder, and that's good for your heart and lungs. They need exercise too.
Do you think singers are good at cardio? Like professional singers?
Well, their lungs get a lot of exercise, but do their hearts?
I guess it depends on the singer.
Yeah, so I don't know. Good question.
Are they standing and singing, or are they doing a performance?
Yeah, so I think you're...
Taylor Swift, for example, who's moving
around a lot.
She's running around doing 3-hour shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that takes a lot of stamina. Michael Jackson. Oh, I just aged myself. Prince. Britney Spears, even. Jennifer Lopez. Beyonce. Yeah, the ones who move a lot and do choreography and do 2-3 hour shows. Yeah, they gotta have a lot more stamina than somebody who's sitting on a stool with a guitar singing for even 2 or 3 hours. So, I think it would depend on the type of singer, type of performance. But, yeah.
Because they gotta work on their breath work.
Mm-hmm. And oftentimes you do find out, see, they have professional trainers, mm-hmm. they have celebrity trainers. Yeah, they put a lot of work in the gym. Cool. They want to have beautiful abs and beautiful bodies, and because they're being critiqued and judged on that, whether that's fair or not. But yeah, they're putting in a lot of work, and I would think they'd be putting in a lot of work on that muscle endurance, both your outside muscles like your core and all that, and legs, but then also their heart and lungs. Yeah, that'd probably be an interesting research study. Wonder if anybody's ever done that. Don't know. All right, so then, if I'm supposed to do cardio and strength training every week, what else? Are there other forms of exercise that need to be thrown into the mix?
I would assume so.
Yeah. And let me say this, cardio can be dancing, it can be walking, running, jogging, cycling, swimming, hiking, Zumba, any dance, fitness, spin, running the stairs. What else? Roller skating. I don't know, dance party in your living room. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Now, I will say that repetitive movement cardio, walking, jogging, swimming, roller skating, cycling, there is something about that. And don't ask me to explain the science behind it, but that is really good for your mental health. So on episode 2
was whole health.
That we brought that up and talked about that a little bit. So you can kind of kill two birds with one stone, because that repetitive movement, all of a sudden you're out for a walk or jog or whatever, and you realize that you're processing information, you're thinking through thoughts and feelings, and whether you're doing it with a friend and talking through it, or you're just doing it kind of on your own. And so it's also really good for your mental health and reduces stress. So there's 2 for 1. Okay. Anyway, so it doesn't matter what form the cardio takes. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't. If it were me, or my advice, if I'm going to give advice, is to say, choose something that you'll keep doing. Like, don't choose swimming if you hate to swim. Choose what you like to do. You don't like to hike.
No. I said a lot of people, I mean, unless you're like to run track, but a lot of people don't like to run.
No.
But you don't have to run, you can walk.
Absolutely.
If you don't like to run, you can walk.
And if you don't like that either, well, then go join a gym and take a dance class or line dancing. I mean, it can totally be fun. Choose something fun. You're way more likely to stick with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like a lot of people, when they hear cardio, they just think running. It's like,
and drudgery.
Mm-hmm. I hate running. And so, yeah. Okay. You don't have to run. You can walk. You can.
Yep. And one of the things I've learned that I actually enjoy doing, and it got started last winter. I got started doing this, is we do have a treadmill in our house, and so I incline treadmill walk. And because on the incline I can get a little bit more bang for my buck as far as calorie burn and sweating. And I like to watch shows. Maybe listen to a podcast. Maybe listen to a sermon, or but I like to watch shows or listen to podcasts it's easy to do. I'm on an incline treadmill, 30 to 40, 45 minutes. I can watch a whole show. So, I've found that I really enjoy that. So you just figure out what works for you. All right. So some other types of exercise that are helpful to include every week. Some kind of power movement. So probably the easiest example, but don't freak out, is a box jump. It's where you jump up onto a box or a step or some kind of bench. Now, I've scraped up my shins numerous times, had to get stitches, so I'm not going to do a box.
Scare them away.
I know, right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not going to do a box jump now, but there are other things that you can do. So jumping jacks, jumping lunges, like a ski jump kind of thing. And even, you can even do them up against the wall. Do a push up, but like push off. Side lunges, again, just push off your leg a little bit. And anyway, it can be small. Doesn't have to be a box jump. So, but some kind of power movement. Maybe you're a basketball player. what did we have to do in school? We had to do chest passes where you throw the ball to your partner and you are supposed to throw it really hard towards their chest. So I don't like basketball. Myself, playing it myself. I'm not any good. You want to hear a story?
Sure.
So, I was in college, and Jenny Clay wanted me to be on her intramural basketball team. Ruthie, I just need one more player, just one more, all girls. And I said, no, Jenny Clay, I'm not any good. I'm really bad at double dribbling or walking, but I'm bad at both. Now, I can free throw. I'm good at making my 2-pointers from the line, but I am not good with dribbling. You'll be fine. I'm sure you're not that bad. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I really am. Anyway, so here we are. We play a game. Guess who gets called? I foul out because I double dribbled and walked so many times. Like, for the life of me, I'm like, what did I do wrong? I can't. I'm sure it has to do with my hypermobility, my awkwardness when it comes to that. Also, a topic for another episode, but the hypermobility. And anyway, she looked at me and she said, you were right, go sit down. I said, I told you I would be better as your cheerleader. She said, you're right, go sit down. Oh. So anyway, but you can do whatever your thing is. You can probably look around and figure out, how can I take one of my movements and turn it into a power move? Jumping rope, okay. And then ladies, probably specifically, if you're like, but when I jump, I pee a little bit. Okay, well then we're gonna work on that. Another episode. We're gonna work on that. And so that you can figure that out and be able to do it. All right, moving on. Mobility, flexibility, stretching. So I also hear that a lot. You mentioned it, tight hamstrings. What do I do? So you already know my answer for that. What's my answer for that?
Stretch.
No.
No? Uh-oh.
What do I teach?
Strength training?
No, the other one.
Older adult fitness?
I teach that too. What else am I?
Pilates.
Thank
Pilates.
You. Pilates. So what Pilates or yoga or some kind of stretching routine are fabulous for mobility, flexibility, and stretching. Pilates is my personal favorite because it combines strength with stretch, and my joints really like the stability that Pilates provides. But there are other people who prefer yoga, or there are other people who just kind of prefer to make it up on some kind of stretching routine on their own. Doesn't matter, it's probably a good idea to include that because it's going to help with injury prevention, longevity, so that you can continue to do the exercises and things that you like to do and want to do and continue to be able to reach your goals. Another one would be some type of interval. Now you could combine that with your cardio and again kind of do a 2-for-1. You're out for a walk and so you speed walk, slow down, speed, slow down. And that can look like 20 seconds on, 20 seconds fast, 20 seconds slow. It can look like 1 minute fast, 1 minute slow, 2 minutes fast, 2 minutes. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Just as long as you're mixing it up. Some people do it at regular intervals. Again, if you want a formula, I can give you one, but really, it doesn't matter just as long as you're alternating. All right. So then people go, well, that's a lot. Yeah. So what that translates to is that you're doing something every single day. Not the same thing, but something every single day.
Which is still better than nothing.
Exactly. And then it becomes a habit. It just becomes part of your daily routine, your daily life, your weekly routine, your weekly life. And then you're just much more likely to stick with it. Like, now I'm still not get up earlier to get it done person. Some people are. Some people prefer to do it later in the day. I do like to do mine in the morning, just not super early. But like finding that rhythm of this is my block. And one of the things that really helped me a lot was to block it off in my calendar. Is especially when I was whenever I'm working towards a specific goal and like I cannot miss in order to hit this goal, then I have to block it off in my calendar. Like it's an appointment, just like anything else. So I think and I'll make this a free handout on my Patreon, but an example of a weekly exercise regimen. So I have it divided into strength and cardio, and then I have the 7 days of the week. And so for example, Monday you have a strength workout and about 30 minutes of cardio. On Tuesday, you have another strength workout and then something easy. Might be an easy walk, it might be yoga, it might be Pilates, just, I don't know, whatever suits you. On Wednesday, that's when you're going to do some intervals, and that would count as your cardio. And that's only going to take about, if you do 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off, or 20 seconds fast, 20 seconds slow, 10 to 12 times, that's only 8 minutes. A little bit of a warm up and a little bit of a cool down. Oh, we're doing math again. 5 plus 8 is 13, plus 8 is 21. 21 minutes. Really. Then Thursday, you do that strength workout and another easy cardio, or you can do hard cardio, whatever. Then Friday, you do that fourth strength workout, and then an easy walk, yoga, or Pilates, or again, whatever floats your boat. Saturday, you do those intervals again, and then Sunday is called active recovery. So it doesn't mean you do nothing, but you do something just fun. Ride bikes with your family. Go for a hike, except not Evan. Go roller skating. Just do something fun, whatever that looks like for you. Fun. I like to do Pilates on Sundays. So that's an example of a weekly exercise regimen. Like I said, I'll put that as a free handout in my Patreon, and so people. But you can take those workouts and mix and match and put them in whatever order works for your lifestyle. So that's exercise in a nutshell. Was that in a nutshell?
I think so.
Yeah.
Cardio, strength training, flexibility and mobility. 1, 2, 3.
A little bit of power. I mean, really, just a little. That little burst. And then maybe some intervals. Yeah. Why intervals? Well, it just helps keep the body guessing.
I was going to say, with your weekly handout, but you should change it up. Because, I mean, I don't know everything, but you should change it up. You don't want things to get easy. Because when they start to get easy, they're not getting the same workout. Yeah.
So actually, he makes a very good point, a very common sense point, but also scientific point, and he probably didn't even know that. So, remember your cells, 4 weeks. So exactly. So your body will begin to adapt. So whatever stressor you give your body is going to begin to adapt to it because it wants to make that stressor easier to handle. And so let's take running, just as an easy example. You want to be able to run a 5K. So you start running. Well, when you first start running, it is hard. And it hurts your heart and your lungs start to burn and your legs are burning. Everything's screaming, stop. And you might feel like you're going to throw up. I mean, depending on how fast. Anyway, and so that first mile is torture. Okay. Let the average calorie burn for 1 mile is 100 calories. So for every mile, 100 calories. That's just average general rule of thumb. But when a person has never run before and they first start out, let's just say, again, to make it an easy example, they're burning 150 calories per mile because their body's never done it before and it's not used to it. But the more they run,
the easier it'll get.
And the less calories they burn per mile. Darn it. But yet it's really this really cool thing that your body, it's a miracle, really, that it adapts and it does figure out how to. So yes, he made a good point. At about every 4 to 6 weeks, whatever your routine is, it is time to change it up. So maybe you mix up the days or you change the power move. It's time to change the strength training program. Because, your body will figure it out and will adapt. And so then, again, depending on what your goals are, it might be time to change it up or level it up or definitely. So that is scientific and you didn't even know it.
No.
No. So, all right. How are we on time?
I think it's time to wrap it up.
Okay. So that's it for today. I'll put that weekly exercise regimen example, like I said, as a handout on my Patreon, and it'll be free. And but if you have any questions about it, you can let me know.
Yeah. And where can the viewers find you, viewers and listeners?
Yep. So you can find me on my Patreon. That's Reignite Health and Fitness. More and more videos are being added to those libraries every week. And truthwithruth.com. Right? Is that it?
Instagram, social media.
It's also going to be Truth with Ruth.
Okay.
We'll make sure that's very clear in the notes.
Okay.
So, all right. Thanks for joining us. Let us know if you have any questions, specific questions.